Hey there, in this video I'll be talking about the differences between the AirPods 2 and the AirPods 4 with ANC. Now I've had these AirPods 2 for approximately 5 years and they have been a great servant, still really like them. These AirPods 4 about a month and I really like these too. So I thought it'd be a good time just to talk about some of the differences that I've noticed. So let's just talk about the case first because that's the first thing you see. The case for the AirPods 2 is slimmer and taller, as you can notice, compared to the AirPod 4 ANC, which is wider and stumpier. Now, if we look on the AirPods 2, you can see that LED light, when you flip the lid, we have that hole for it. Now, on the AirPods 4, we don't have that. However, when you flip the lid, you do still see that green light. Now, if we look at the bottom and compare the two, the AirPods 2 take the lightning connection, the classic lightning connection, whereas the AirPods 4 take the USB-C connection, which also doesn't come in the box. You don't get a cable in the box, so that's just something to bear in mind. It also has these 3 holes at the bottom which serve as a speaker, so if you've lost your AirPods, you can find them with Find My. Now if we look at the back, you can see on the AirPods 2 we have the button which you press and hold to activate discovery mode. On the back of the AirPods 4 you don't have that. You get the same function by lifting the lid and tapping twice on the front. Flipping the lid and looking at the AirPods, you can see on the AirPod 2 the speakers face outwards and on the AirPod 4s they face inwards. Tech-wise, some of the differences are the H1 chip which comes with the AirPods 2. The AirPods 4 with ANC has the newer H2 chip. And this H2 chip allows a better Bluetooth connection. It's Bluetooth 5.3 connectivity. However, bear in mind that this is supported from the iPhone 14 and newer. So if you have an older iPhone, you won't be connecting with 5.3, you'll be connecting with 5, which is the same as the AirPods 2. This is one of the big differences between the AirPods 2s and the AirPods 4. The AirPods 4 are substantially better sound-wise. There's absolutely no question about it. The bass is much bouncier and it's just a better overall sound. There's a clear difference in sound quality between these two. That's not to say the AirPod 2s are bad, because they're not, but these are just a lot better. Both of these AirPods have approximately 5 hours on a single charge. Another difference is with the cases. The AirPods 2 come with a standard case, however you can upgrade to a wireless case, whereas the AirPods 4 come with a wireless case as standard, and you can charge this with an Apple Watch charger, a wireless charger, and MagSafe. Although the case has no magnets which will allow it to stick to the MagCase charger, it will still receive a charge. Looking at the two AirPods together, you can quite clearly see the difference. The AirPods 2 has the longer stem, and the AirPods 4 the shorter one. It's also slightly bulkier on the ear, the AirPod 4, than the AirPod 2, which is slightly slimmer. I find myself that the AirPod 2 is a better fit, but this is subjective. The AirPods 4 are also comfortable, but if I had to give it between the two, I would definitely go with the AirPod 2. These are really comfortable. I can wear them all day. They're literally like an earring. These are very comfortable as well, the AirPod 4 with ANC. However, I can feel them a little bit, but again, it's all down to the individual fit. I made a video where I talked about my first impressions, and in that video I recommended going to the Apple store and trying these on. They have trial pairs. Go in there, try them on and see what you think. So as well as the longer stem, one of the big differences is with music control and sound control on these AirPods. The AirPod 2, you can just tap twice to stop music. However, on the AirPods 4, you have to press the stem. Now, in terms of ease of use, tapping wins hands down. It's so much easier. It's just tap, tap, and it's done. With these, you have to kind of find your way around and hold, but don't jank your hand so the AirPod falls out. Fiddly, just fiddly. If they could transfer this tap, tap to here, these would be perfect. So for me, the tap, tap wins over the squeeze, squeeze. However, sound quality, as I say, far better here. Tap, tap better. And as I said, these are noise cancelling headphones, the ANCs. And I will say these are more than just a gimmick. These really do work. The noise cancellation, it's not perfect. It doesn't cancel out everything, but bear in mind, there is no rubber insert and they're not over ear, and they are good, I'd say, to about 70 to 80% cancellation. So far from a gimmick, very, very good. If you're deciding between the AirPods 4 and the AirPods 4 noise cancelling, I think it's worth jumping a little bit more and just going for the noise cancellation. So those are the differences between the AirPod 2 and AirPod 4 ANCs. Let me know in the comments which ones you think are better, or if you're deciding between either one of these or a different pair of earphones. Thanks a lot for watching, and I wish you a great day ahead.